have something interesting for you this week. I have asked all my friends and family, give me your fundraising appeals, give me anything you get from a nonprofit. I want it for my videos for you. So my sister, we're both nurses. She graduated from college 4 years ago, and she got an appeal this week asking if she would donate to the college she graduated from. So I wanted to go over this with you. They've taken a creative approach. The front is busy, it has some visuals. It's titled Make Your Mark, so they're pulling me in right off the bat. But there are some pieces to this that confuse me, and I'm just curious how well this appeal did. So it's from Olivet Nazarene University. She's not a Nazarene, but that's where she went. If you are in higher education fundraising, would you leave me a comment? I'm genuinely curious when you decide who's going to get your appeals, especially when you're trying to get new donors from old students. How do you determine who gets these appeals? Because yes, my sister paid off her loans, but she's single, but she's working as a nurse, 40, 50 hours a week. There's disposable income, but not a ton. And so I'm just curious how you determine who gets these donor acquisition appeals. Okay, so this is the outer envelope. The teaser, open for a chance to relive your days at Olivet. Perfect teaser. Mystery, curiosity, and it doesn't scream, hey, I'm going to ask you for money. So that's absolutely perfect. Okay, so now this is the front of the letter. This is the back. So I just wanted to show you what this looks like. Clearly the front of the letter, make your mark. They're pulling me in. It's about me, They start the letter with my name or my sister's name. So immediately this is speaking to me. I see a person, I see a signature, I see a PS. This is perfect. It was on a quite big sheet of paper. It was on a 8.5 by 14. So it was large. And then there's some visual elements. And so while I think the visual elements may take away from the fundraising component of this, it does hold your attention. So that part's a win. And then this is the back, and we'll go over that in just a second. The letter itself. Dear Gabrielle, do you remember your daily routine at Olivet? Whether it was 5 years ago or 50, your Olivet experience probably looks a lot like it does for many of today's students. Stephen Screen always says, don't start your appeals with a question, because what's going to happen is Gabrielle is going to think, I'm thinking about my daily routine. And they're not going to get further in this appeal. All of a sudden, they're going to think like, oh, I have all these good feelings. Look at the intro to biology at Reed Hall. And then they're just going to put it away or open the inside or put it down. It's not clear right off the bat they're asking for money. However, that might be part of their strategy. I'm just curious if their strategy works. So they start out with a number. Please, it's not really good to start out with numbers. Nobody can contextualize 2,500 students on campus. What does that mean to Gabrielle? What is it supposed to mean? So while the start is personal and engaging, this would be perfect for an email that's made for cultivation. It's not a good sentence for raising funds. Additionally, we get into the second paragraph, and the second paragraph is just blah, blah, blah. There's no need for me in the first or second paragraph. And additionally, they're pulling me off track by talking about, hey, do you remember this? We get to the third paragraph. I would like you to consider making a gift today in support of a piece of Olivet that's meaningful to you. Couple problems with this. If you ask to consider, they're going to consider. You need to ask to please make a gift today. The good thing is they said make it today, but then they said in support of the piece of Olivet that's most meaningful to you. You're creating friction in some sort of decision fatigue here, because now they got to start thinking, okay, what part of Olivet was most meaningful to me? They're going to start thinking, what does that mean? Does that mean I can donate to the athletic building? Does that mean I can, this is too vague. They need to say, hey, Gabrielle, will you give $25 to help a student buy books this year? Or Gabrielle, would you give $25 to help do blank? Instead, they're saying, would you consider? And then they're saying, in support of the piece of Olivet that's most meaningful to you. Another thumbs down, because there's too much decision and thoughts that have to go into this. And then he goes on, whether it's athletics, scholarship support, academics, there are deserving students whose lives will be immediately impacted by your generosity. Let's talk about one person who needs my help. You don't even have to say they're deserving students. I don't understand the language in this. They're trying to convince me students deserve my help. Why don't you tell me what a student needs, and then I would be compelled to help. While college life looks different from student to student and from generation to generation, we are all united by Olivet. I encourage you to make your mark on the place we call home. Again, I think it's a great way to create a community and an environment where you could potentially get them to donate later. This is more of a do you remember, and drawing them in piece. This isn't a good appeal piece if we're trying to raise funds. So the PS is interesting. You would have thought they would have reiterated the offer and told me about a deadline. By the way, there's not a deadline here. There should be a deadline. It says there will be a fun opportunity during homecoming this year to remind you of what life was like. Turn the page and you can participate online. Again, if the point of this was to ask for money, but the main point was mainly to just get people engaged, it's perfect for engagement. We've got the pictures, we got the the questions you remember. We're talking about homecoming. It's not good for raising funds. Also, I love that he's got his picture here. It's a real human. He signed it. Support Olivet students today. Why don't we say help one student at Olivet do blank? Okay, but they do say call, search, or scan. The QR code's perfect as this is going to young people. If it was going to anyone 40, 30, you'd want to make sure you have your address, but here they're just saying go to our website. What we have on the inside spread is something really cool. I mean, it's an awesome, engaging piece of art. It shows me the campus. It feels fun. So it's going to hold my attention for a moment, but it gets really funky to me. I had to spend some time trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. I thought the inner spread would help me give a gift. Instead, they're saying I should participate and make my mark, scan the QR code, and watch the video for a clue to the hidden landmark sticker. Follow the clues. I did. I scanned the QR code and it took me to a donation page. They're talking about stickers and I don't even know where the stickers are. So while this is interesting and I think would create a lot of good feelings between the graduated student and the org, it does nothing for raising funds. And then it says the Olivet Fund powered by generosity. What is the Olivet Fund supposed to mean to Gabrielle? Gabrielle doesn't even know what the Olivet Fund is. So they would be better off. So down here you'll see it says your annual support. Sorry, guys. Your annual support through the Olivet Fund creates impact for student scholarships, academic programs, Tiger athletics, campus improvements, and more. As always, we accomplish great things for Olivet and its mission. So are they bragging to me about what the Olivet Fund does? Shouldn't they be telling me the Olivet Fund needs me? Shouldn't they say, hey, Gabby, you can improve a student's experience so that they never feel left behind, so they have what they need, so that they go to class with all the supplies they need. Okay, and then by the way, when I do go to the donation page, it shows me progress of how much has been given. I got this appeal 20 days ago. When I went to the donation page attached to this QR code, they had only received 7 gifts and it was around $300. I don't think they should have a status bar then if that's as little as they've raised. Clearly, people are enjoying the art, but clearly they're not giving. So that's the kicker. Now let's go to the back page of this appeal. Now on the back of the appeal, we're talking about the Olivet Fund in 2022. They're telling me they've got 3,600 donors, more of half of them are alumni. I imagine they're trying to tap into social proof. They're saying 13 areas of study. I imagine that means they've impacted 13 different types of learning on campus, 17 sports teams, $2 million for scholarships, nearly $5 million raised. They're bragging about the Olivet Fund. Instead, they should be saying, there's a spot for you. We need you to give so that we can help an area of study. So we can give a student who's worked hard her whole life a scholarship so that you can help our sports teams. I mean, they could create multiple versions of this appeal and ask for different things based on if the graduate was on a sports team. You could send this to Gabby and ask, hey, would you give to help the nursing program so that students have what they need? Why would you need me if you have 3,600 donors? That might be why there's only $300 donated on that landing page that I went to. Real quick, let's go to the reply device. Give by mail. Thank you for choosing to support Olivet. Fill out the information on this form and use the provided envelope to mail the slip or go here. All right, so I'm curious, 20.23, and then we go to 120, 300, or other. I would like to know what it costs to do one meaningful thing. Could you please explain to me what $20.23 will do? The gift ask string makes 0 sense. I'm glad they allow me to do a monthly gift. You always want to have that as an option. Then they give me different designations for my gift. Student scholarships, academic support, where most needed, athletic. But they told me on the very front of the letter, I want you to consider making a gift in support of the piece of Olivet that means the most to you. They gave me a lot of room to make a decision on where I wanted my gift to go, but then I get to the reply device and they give me very specific categories. I personally think this should be customized. I think all the nursing students who have capacity to give should get this acquisition piece of mail. We should be asking for gift amounts that we know they can give. So let's start at a higher gift ask amount. Let's tell them what it'll do. Let's allow them to make it to the nursing department, make it to undesignated funds, or make it to scholarships. Let's customize even the designations based on what we think the student would like to do. I love that they say my employer will match my gift. Then I can include credit card, all that stuff. And so, yeah, that's what I see. Again, this is okay. This is okay. But truly, this piece of mail, love the art, very engaging. I wanted to look at it, but it doesn't make me want to give. They held my attention, they held my gaze, but they didn't hold it where it mattered. So if you made it through the video, thanks for hanging with me. I just wanted you to know, my name's Danielle. I'm the owner of Grow Better. I help small to mid-sized nonprofits maximize their fundraising revenue. And so if you want any help, if you want to just hop on a call and run some things by me, I have a link in my bio. You can book a free strategy call. I'd love to connect with you. Regardless, when you leave, I'll make sure you leave with some applicable, immediately useful tips, and we can always see if we would be a good fit for working together. So anyways, thanks so much, and talk soon.